Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be reviewing Season 3, Episode 15. I could review the episode, but honestly, nothing happened. This episode, you can clearly tell it was rushed, and it's just a big problem with Season 3 that I feel like no one really talks about enough. The fact that all of these episodes are filler. Now, how do we differentiate what's filler and what's just episodic? Because I feel like this is filler and not just that the show is episodic. Because in the first couple of episodes in Rainbow High, that's what you call episodic. Kind of like random plots with the same characters continuing. But I feel like this is just filler generally because there's supposed to be an overarching plot, which is Rainbow Vision. And in a way, we are technically continuing a story from last time, which is why this is supposed to move the plot forward, but does pretty much nothing. And everything that was supposed to hit hard and be quote unquote dramatic, I just couldn't care about because it just felt like random pieces of drama shoved into a bit of filler. And it felt unimportant. And time that could have been spent advancing the plot just felt wasted. So let's get into this episode. And I feel like there's not going to be much to talk about because it's generally just filler. So, as usual, we start off our episode with the Rainbow High logo and we get into Avery talking to Rainbow Dream for no reason. I honestly feel like a lot of things that happen in this episode doesn't make any sense. So, we start the episode with the performers backstage, and only one thing happens in this episode that I feel like is actually worth talking about, but even then, it doesn't affect the plot at all. What's the point of this shot? This shot is just to take up time. So what is the darn dolls crying? What is that going to do for the plot? Nothing. I really hate filler because a whole bunch of nothing happens. Oh, and the Rainbow Divas break up as a band for some reason. Why? I know a lot of people were stans of Sabrina and liked her a lot, but who actually cares? Who actually cares that they broke up? This does absolutely nothing from the plot. Unless this means that they're dropping out of the race, which could be pretty crucial, but they don't really touch on the fact whether they're dropping out of the race or not. I just feel like their band breaking up is kind of random and just a worthless piece of drama used to make the episode seem interesting when it generally just isn't. Okay, so this is the one noticeable thing that happens in the episode, and even then, it's really not that special. So Laurel and Holly want to make sure that Glitch doesn't get on stage on time, which honestly, that might make Shadow High look slightly bad, but what honestly is that going to do for them? And okay, so they try to shove too much stuff into one episode, the Rainbow Divas breaking off, and then the truce between the Storm twins and the Deveious twins being broken. But I just feel like it wasn't executed well. It was executed very poorly in a manner that we can't really care about. So Laurel and Holly try to push Glitch in staying there. And aren't they supposed to be high schoolers? Glitch should obviously know that, they're trying to force her to stay backstage so that she misses her event. Apparently, Paris Hilton has come back in this episode, and the original Paris Hilton, the real Paris Hilton, she's fine. But honestly, the voice acting, I don't know what's happening here, but she sounds so dry and dead in not only this episode, but every time she speaks, it sounds like some kind of AI is speaking. There's no personality in that voice, especially compared to all the loud, exaggerated voices in Rainbow High, which feels like I kind of feel like her inclusion in this episode was just to advertise her in a way, which I feel is strange to choose Paris Hilton to advertise for a kids show, especially considering one of the main reasons that she got famous in the first place is because she released a certain type of tape that I will not be talking about on this video. But still, she doesn't feel like the most, let's just say, kid-friendly choice for this. But whatever. I feel like Paris Hilton's inclusion here is just, I don't know, to advertise her, because I guess they're in some kind of agreement or partnership, and they're still making the Paris Hilton doll, which has been in production for who knows how many months right now. You can see that I'm avoiding talking about the episode itself because a whole bunch of nothing happens. Glitch just kind of walks up on the stage, and I mean, like, no hate to the real Paris Hilton, but like, don't tell me that she's not here, like she's here for an important reason. The only reason why they had her talk is like to squeeze out the last dollar of their agreement or something. I don't know, but I honestly don't care. So, in my opinion, every Rainbow Vision song is just filler. It's space and time filler. There was no reason for like the Rainbow Dream to perform. Like, why? And how come all these bands just get added at the end? Like Royal 3, Neon Shadow. Like in the first couple auditions, not only did Rainbow Dream and all these other bands not audition, but they get to just like hop on the bandwagon when it's time for the semifinals. It doesn't make any sense, and there's zero continuity. Also, what happened to Harper Dune? Because the last time I checked, she auditioned and she hasn't been in any of these past few episodes. It doesn't make any sense. What happened to Harper? Did she drop out of the race? We honestly don't know. We could have seen Harper in this video and maybe explained or kind of like given the fans some kind of view on that and what's really going on. But of course, no. Instead of actually paying attention to anything that's important, what about another Rainbow Dream song and a bunch of filler? That's one thing I don't like about Rainbow Vision. It's stretching out for way too long, and honestly, nobody cares. Like, what was the point of this in the first place? And I mean, why does every time, like, whenever Rainbow Dream makes a song, it always sounds like a rip-off child version of a real life song? Like, they should get copyrighted. I'm sorry. It feels so lackluster, and honestly, I can't care. There's also a lot of people who say that, oh, why didn't the Royal 3 get a song? Or like they want a lot of more songs in the episodes. And that's totally fine. That's their opinion. But then they also say that the songs take up way too much time. I do definitely think that a 3-minute song in a 7-minute episode is not going to work out well, but that's just my opinion. But I do feel like some people say both that, like, oh, the songs are too long, yet they still want more songs. And I feel like you kind of have to choose a side. You can't expect everyone to have more songs, but still think that the songs are taking too much time. But this is just my opinion. I personally feel like the songs take up way too much time. They basically bring nothing at all to the plot, which makes me not care about them at all. I mean, yeah, there have been a couple bops, but nothing major. Nothing I could actually care about. And I feel like this episode is nothing I could care about. It's just a massive bunch of filler. What does Glitch being late to the stage do to the plot? Absolutely nothing. She just shows up late because drama, I guess? And don't get me started on the ending. Like, the ending of this episode has to be not the worst, but one of the most annoying endings to any episode. And this includes the so-called costume ball special. The ending to this episode makes it so clear and obvious that the writers from Rainbow High are trying so hard to stretch out Rainbow Vision for longer than they should. Anyway, Glitch walks back on stage after Rainbow Dream's performance, and it's finally time to close down the semifinal things and see who's actually making it into the finals. Like, I was so glad when this point came up because I was like, finally something that isn't just filler. Okay, so I thought, oh, the majority of this episode has been filler, so let's make this final piece important. Let's actually set up what's going to happen in the and then that scene just gets cut off. And then the truce between the Storm Twins and Deveious Twins is broken. And I mean, this scene is so lackluster. And there's already something that's so much more important that's already happening that I honestly can't even care about this. And I mean, I know that the point of this whole deal is that they were going to reveal the finalists and the truce would be already broken anyway by the time it was the finals. But then they cut back to the scene, making you think that, okay, now we're going to get the finalists so that the truce breaking makes sense. And do you know what they do? Do you know what they have the audacity to do? They zoom in on all the characters, making you think something important's about to happen. And then they tell you that they're going to reveal the answer after the break. After the break? What break? What are you talking about? You know what? I'll elaborate more. I'll make a part 2 of this video. I'll see you guys next time. What are your thoughts on this episode? It's literally filler.